being, larger than life.
This is Jonathan Aguilar here for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Dev Sahni. Dev, usually when we're at these press conferences, I ask you, do you reckon it's going to kick off? I bet you came in today sort of knowing what was going to happen.
Yeah.
It was good up there.
It was all right, wasn't it? Like I had a list of questions like this long. I needed about 3 of them, to be honest. So that's good. So I've got some saved for next week. But yeah, look, good energy as well. It wasn't too. I'm going to smash your head in. Let's get up. Let's do it right now. And suddenly the presser ends. It was good. They both went at it, both landed their shots, both took a moment to take the shots and then come back with something. Really enjoyed it, and it's such a good fight, mate. Come on, Jay Nags, talk to me about this fight. What a fight! This
is a great fight, and do you know what's great? Both got knockout power, both unbeaten, but I'm not promoting the fight. That's your job. Is Adeleye up against it here, though, given the opposition that Wardley's fought and things like that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Wardley is 16-0. He's had more fights. He's been in with guys like Nathan Gorman, Eric Molina, who Adelaye's not been in with anyone like that so far, and Wardley's come through those tests. Although in those tests, he's had to go through it a little bit. Nathan Gorman had him hurt. Eric Molina had him hurt. So, Adeleye can look at that and be like, okay, I could have some success against him. But yeah, look, I think he's the underdog in this fight. David Adeleye, officially with the bookies, he's the underdog. And that's probably based on who he's fought so far. To get to 12-0, he hasn't necessarily come through the same sort of opponents that Wardley has to get to 16-0.
That said, though, is Adelaide's toughest opponent on paper so far?
Absolutely. You got an unbeaten British champion there who's knocked out 15 from his 16, who hits very, very hard and has come through adversity in his fights. So yeah, you'd have to say that. And look at the big man. Look at him. Goodness me, the size of David Adeleye.
He looked bigger before he was next to you, mate.
Come on. I made him shrink. Yeah.
Dev, just moving away. I'm sure you.
Just noticed all the security come around me. It's probably because they think I'm going to kick off. No, you're all right, fellas. Don't worry.
Just moving on to, I'm sure you paid your 20 quid on Saturday night for the pay-per-view. What do you make of it?
I did pay. I don't nick any fights, so I did pay for that. And yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, some of it's quite funny, isn't it? Like the tag team stuff is quite hilarious at times. The Logan Paul, Dylan Dennis was quite disappointing. And then Dennis is still talking. He's still talking the most. He's like trying to appeal. He's lost his appeal. Tell you that. He's lost his appeal with the public. And Tommy against KSI. I mean, KSI was just very, very awkward. Did a number of star jumps, and I feel he did lose the fight ultimately. But I think it wasn't Tommy's best performance. He'll admit that. But he must have just had someone so awkward in front of him that he couldn't batter. He couldn't really land that clean shot to get him out of there, could he?
Obviously, that event garnered a lot of attention last week. Everyone knew it was on. You work in sort of, under a promotion. What do you think, the fights that we cover can do to sort of replicate that? Because I guess the argument is they've got 1 million subscribers, followers, whatever. It's easy to just sell that. But can we as boxing do anything more, do you think?
I don't think we can learn anything from the circus element of it. I think boxing carries itself, for the most part, better than that. I think the fighters can learn from the characters. Some of the characters in there wearing masks on their head and stuff like that, just being, larger than life. It's WWE, right? So it's no harm for a boxer to learn from that element of it, to come out wearing a mask, to talk a little bit more, to just be a bit more entertaining. There's no harm in learning from that. That's kind of about it. You don't really want to like some of the videos that I saw going out last week, like across all the normal boxing channels, are just awful. But I think boxers can learn.
Just on Tommy Fury's performance, what did you think?
Not his best, but he got the job done, and Yeah, I don't know what he's going to do next. I think, again, it's very awkward having someone like that jumping up and down in front of you and then, punch, hug, punch, hug, 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 punch, hug. Like, it's awkward, but Tommy will probably be disappointed that he wasn't able to, deal with him properly. But refs should have been breaking them up a lot more as well. Like, I saw a lot of hugging that night. I didn't tune in for so much hugging. I'd have watched something else, But, yeah, he won't be best pleased, but hopefully he can go on to a good fight now.
On Misfits itself, Froch said that this is diabolical and Misfits should basically just end. Is there as in it should be the end of Misfits? So is there a place for it in your opinion?
I don't think they're going anywhere, mate. I think the Misfits are here to stay. As long as the Misfits keep bringing in subscriber numbers to broadcasters willing to back it, the Misfits will be there. Is it a danger to conventional boxing? In theory, it should be making boxing step up. I think there's a lot of. I think some of the boxers need to become more. Look at that and become more entertaining, become more characters, and not. There's a lot of boxers that just think they can rely on their boxing and that's enough. What this is teaching us is that maybe it's not. Maybe just give me a little bit more.
And one man who gets that is Tyson Fury next week. I'm sure you won't have too much to do in that press conference, but as that fight edges closer, what are you thinking?
I am thinking Tyson Fury is going to try and knock him out as quickly as possible. Can't be messing about. And I also think seeing, KSI, who isn't a trained kind of boxer, who's only just been doing it for a little bit, right? Isn't a natural fighter. I think seeing him give Tommy Fury problems from just being quite unconventional and not being like anything that Tommy can prepare for in sparring, you sort of think, well, what's Francis Ngannou going to be like? Is he going to be unconventional? Is Tyson going to struggle with how unconventional? Because Tyson won't have seen anything like this before. You don't know what this guy's going to do in there. So I think Tyson will try to just put the fire out as quickly as possible. I know there's a theory that I'll put on a show and do a few rounds. No, I think he'll just, especially with this Usyk fight looming, just get him out of there as quickly as you can. The show is the build-up. The fight should just end quickly.
Dev, appreciate your time, and we'll look forward to next week's show. And I know there's a queue forming. I assume there is anyway.
David Adeleye, yes.
Dev Sahni, and appreciate your time.
No worries.